What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. Real quick before we start, I did pick a winner for the 2DS XL, the new one that we gave away, and I sent emails. I haven't heard back though, so I'm going to give it the rest of the day today, and if I still haven't heard back from that person, I will redraw on Saturday, and basically I guess I'll keep redrawing until I find a person who responds to me. But check your emails, definitely, because I may have sent you an email, and if I don't hear back from you, I have to move on and redraw. So definitely get back to me if I send you one. Also, if you do not win, make sure you check the link in the description because we are giving away the new 3DS XL Samus Edition that I think looks awesome. All you have to do is subscribe and then check the link so you can enter to win one. And with that, let's get started today. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the Nindies, right? Remember how we had a full Nintendo Direct all about indie games? Well, it's also going to be apparently invading PAX West. Now, this isn't new. They've done indie events at PAX West past couple years, but this is going to be very interesting because there are games there that we want to see gameplay for that we're waiting to see something. These include games like Rocket League that everybody wants to see how it's going to play and how it looks on the Nintendo Switch. I do especially. And I'm always curious about how it looks in, say, portable mode, because that's where I like to play the Switch. I like to play it when it's a handheld system because I have plenty of systems hooked to my TV. The Switch is so different because I can take it on the go and play it on the couch if I want to and not be pretty much tethered to a TV. I want to see how a game like Rocket League that moves very quickly and has kind of a field of view that you need kind of plays on the smaller 6.3 inch screen. That's interesting. We're also going to see, strangely enough, because it's the Nindies, it's an indie event, we're also going to see NBA 2K18 fully playable, which I'm hoping means people will capture direct footage of this game because this game, which is coming up pretty soon, is still a mystery to all of us. Like, we still don't even know what it looks like or how it plays on the Switch. I assume they're going to add single Joy-Con play and everything like that. And I'm hoping this is kind of the big reveal party for games like Rocket League and games like NBA 2K18 because we need to know what they look like before we buy them. Now, we've also had announcements in the past at these kind of events at PAX West, so I'm hoping we see some other indie games. Like, I'm really looking forward to Golf Story. I haven't seen anything about that, and it looked really cool to me. I really want to play a game that has RPG elements mixed with a golf game that's also mixed with like a Stardew Valley almost. It looked really cool and different. That's why I wanted to see it. And then, of course, any other indies you can think of have a chance of being there. So this could be really cool. And there's also a chance that new indie games are shown off there. Like games we don't even know are coming just show up. So I'm hoping this event turns out to be really interesting, really cool. And I really want to see footage of NBA 2K18 because they've been really quiet about that, more so than I would expect. So this could be really cool. And what else is really interesting is this event is going to be open to the public. Now, they've pretty much titled this Nindies at Night. And again, it's going to be an event that's open to the public, PAX West. It's going to be August 31st, 8:30 p.m. to midnight, obviously on the West Coast, so the time zone has to be Pacific time. But what's great here is they're also going to give us a live stream. So I won't be able to make it, obviously. I'm kind of far away from PAX West, but I can watch the live stream. In fact, I probably will live stream it if you guys want to come and watch really everything they're going to do there, because they're talking about deep dives with developers where they'll talk about the games and really how they got them working on the Switch and what benefits the Switch gave them, maybe any kind of difficulties they had, although they'll probably spend less time focusing on difficulties and more time spent on talking about the game in general. But I'm actually really excited. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of indie games. I have been for a long time because I think they have a great place in really the games industry when it helps push creativity forward with these smaller games that try out all kinds of crazy ideas. I'm excited to see this, and I really want to see footage of games like Rocket League, NBA 2K18, definitely. Now, before we get too ahead of ourselves here and get to PAX West, let's talk about really the conference going on right now, and going to be finishing up, obviously, tomorrow, Saturday, and that's Gamescom. Now, they had their annual awards that they do for the show, you know, Best of Show, Best Booth, Best Console Game for PlayStation 4, etc. They basically go down the list, and the one game that seems to have won quite a few awards is, yeah, you probably guessed it, Mario Odyssey. So let's go down the awards that Mario Odyssey won. It won Best of Gamescom, Best Console Game for the Nintendo Switch as a category, so just the Nintendo Switch games, Best Action Game, Best Family Game, and then Gamescom Most Wanted Consumer Award. Now, Metroid Samus Return also won Best mobile style game, so best game that's on a mobile device, which at this point there's not a lot of games up for that category anymore since the 3DS pretty much has that on lockdown. Considering the Switch, they still see it in these categories as a home console. I know there's going to be debate about that forever, obviously, but they do see it as a home console because that's the way Nintendo really pushes it. In this case, though, yes, Mario Odyssey is the most wanted game, I would say, on the show floor here. And yes, I want to play it as badly, I'm sure, as you do. So it just goes to show how great of a game it's probably going to be and how much time and attention Nintendo has put into it, because consider it's going up against a bunch of other games, you know, the big ones, Destiny, Call of Duty, you know, all these big games, and then here's Mario Odyssey quietly winning all of the awards and showing that really gameplay and the game itself matters more so than visuals at this point. Next up, let's stick with Gamescom for a minute and talk about Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch. I know I've talked about it, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna buy it again because it's Skyrim. Again, this is another game I've bought so many times now, and fortunately they did upgrade people on the PC to the Special Edition for free. It was pretty much an automatic update, so when it went out, we got it. I was able to load it up, although, to be fair, a lot of the stuff that they added you could already get with the mods, with the HD resolution pack and all the texture packs and everything, but at least they redid it in a better engine and everything, and you know what? Great. But a lot of people have been waiting to see more about the Nintendo Switch. Now, Philip did a really great job, got a bunch of portable footage of the game in motion, and it played great. But now we have places like Digital Foundry showing up there, getting really footage of it when it's being played in handheld as well. And then Game Explain even had a video, from what I saw, really showcasing some of the really in docked mode, from what I could tell. But really, looking at some of the stills that I was sent, it does look like it's going to be this interesting cross between like the Special Edition and the regular edition, but it won't have mod support, from what I can tell, but it'll use the newer textures. And overall, the big thing here to take away from, and everyone who's going there seems to see the same thing, it plays well, like very well. In fact, I think the older consoles really did not play well because of the lack of RAM. They had 512 megabytes of RAM for like the 360, 256 split up on the PS3, whereas the Switch has 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is enough, obviously, to play something like Skyrim, which played on older computers. But it's playing at a lock 30, and no stuttering, from what I can tell. Load times are pretty quick, and it looks like it's going to be a very enjoyable experience. So I'm more on the side of maybe I should just get it so I can play it portably. It's far and away better than what we're seeing with the GPD Win, for example, by a lot. So now I'm looking at it like, oh man, I'm not going to use the motion controls. I barely care about things like Link's outfit and everything being in there. But the fact that Skyrim can follow me around, wow, that's a dangerous feeling because I got lost in that game when it first came out. It's very tempting to get it on the Switch just so I have it portably. Next up, let's talk about Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battles. And it looks like a good game. It's coming out soon. It's out next week, actually. And you know what? It looks like it's going to be a really cool idea mixing the Rabbids. I know this sounds crazy, right? The Mario universe with the Raving Rabbids universe. But it looks like they're doing a tactical XCOM type setup. And of course, I don't want to say of course, but there's a season pass for it, and it has some people on either side. Some people are like, oh, you're making us pay for a season pass, and then others are like, well, let's see what it actually entails. And what I'm seeing, the $20 add-on set, actually looks like it probably will be worth it. Now, I'm not a big fan of same-day DLC. DLC that I think could have been worked into the main product that's a $60 game, right? Something like when I saw Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, the new one, and then they announce all of these DLC characters before it comes out. I kind of look at that like, you probably could have got these characters into the game. You just know that your fan base will buy these characters because when you go into something like a tournament or esports style, they need those characters so that they can practice against them and all of that. Now I look at Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It's going to be fun. Is it worth the $20? Well, let's take a look at what's in the Season Pass. Now, at launch, you will get 8 exclusive steampunk weapons. I don't know which weapons, but that's how they describe it, and that's at launch. Now, you're going to see, it looks like it goes kind of further, because Fall 2017 has new solo challenges and co-op maps, and then all the way into 2018, they're going to have a new unexpected story content. And we saw this with Zelda, right, where they sold us kind of a Season Pass, and then they promised new story and everything, and so far, the Zelda DLC looks like it probably will be worth overall the price we paid. And the fact that that DLC is not going to launch until 2018 for this one, the story content, seems to be following kind of the same path as the Zelda one, where I have a feeling that unexpected story content is going to be kind of large. So you don't have to buy it right away. If you don't want the steampunk weapons, you can wait until the new solo challenges and co-op maps, or you can even wait all the way until next year when this new unexpected story comes out, wait for reviews, and see if it's worth it. But if it's anything like the Zelda DLC, it probably will be worth it. Again, this seems to be something that Ubisoft is really concentrated and focused on being a good game, or at least a quality game. And I'm hoping the DLC kind of follows the same path. And in our last bit of news today, let me talk to you about a very odd, a very interesting crossover that apparently is going to be happening. And this is a crossover between Final Fantasy 15 and Assassin's Creed. Now it sounds weird, and that's because it is. It is kind of weird. What's going to happen though is in Final Fantasy 15, that's a timed event. It'll go from August 31st, 2017 till January 31st of 2018. So there's a couple months in there. But what's going to happen is you and your crew in Final Fantasy 15 will travel to the Assassin's Festival, where you will kind of partake in different events that are similar, in their words, to Ubisoft's most profitable franchises, which appears to mostly just be Assassin's Creed. In fact, in the trailer they showed it looked like Assassin's Creed, but it looks like you're just going to basically be controlling in that style as you play through a story that they have set up for you, kind of in the Final Fantasy 15 universe, and they'll give you like kind of bonus loot and stuff, exclusive items that you get from playing through the DLC. Now, it's interesting. I have no idea how this partnership happened, but I have to at least give Final Fantasy 15 credit. At least they're trying to something new, I guess. Although some fans don't seem super excited about it, but I mean, why not? It's just an extra piece of content, I guess. Again, it also might be more of a publicity stunt to help push Assassin's Creed forward, so I'm not sure what talks or partnerships happened here. But there you go. If you've ever wanted to be the Final Fantasy 15 universe, meaning kind of the Assassin's Creed universe, but you can do it now. And that's it for Newswave today, guys. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me think about any of the stuff we talked about today, whether it is the Nintendo Nindies event. Are you going to be at PAX West, and will you be attending that panel? Because I'm very curious to see how everything turns out there. And if you are, get an Elgato or something and get some direct footage of things like NBA 2K18 if you can, or get some off-screen footage. I'm very curious, as many others are, to see how that game looks in comparison to the PS4 and Xbox One versions, and if they'll have things like, single Joy-Con play, and definitely try out Rocket League, because that's going to be, I think, one of the more interesting ones to see next to NBA. Also, let me know what you think about the Mario Rabbids Season Pass. Does that bother you that there's a Season Pass, or are you more on the side of, well, it's more content, sure, it's $20, but I can wait to see how it turns out before I put money in? Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday.